Yo, greetings, salutation, ladies and gentlemen. What it do, how you doing, and good afternoon. Ohayo, konnichiwa, and kabawa, gigadasika, minasa. Welcome back into another reaction video. It's your boy, Mighty Avenger, the multitasker, the one and only Mr. Avenger, Mr. MA, or Mighty Son, at your service. What up, guys? How you doing? Not much. A nice, beautiful afternoon. Yeah, it's still hot as hell, and it did rain not too long ago. That was early this morning, but I slept like a baby, and that hopefully that this will be a good Monday, because at least it's nice out, and that I have a feeling that it's gonna be raining later on tonight. I hope that it won't get too bad, but it is that time to once again for another. It's time for a DeathBattle episode, because a new one that came out that was 6 hours ago, and it's Guts versus Dimitri, Berserk versus Fire Emblem. Now, I know that the fans out there that are familiar of this character, and I never played Fire Emblem before, but I am familiar of Guts, and this is the same character that defeated Nightmare in the last season that he defeated. So does this mean that there will be for a second time? Or perhaps that Dimitri is going to win? So let's see how this is going to go with this, because this is going to be a very unique of this episode. And especially that Guts is he is a badass, and pretty much that he could take any pain, and especially with that giant broadsword that will cut anything from humans to demons, and especially that he got the brand of sacrifice, and that he's basically that he is the flame to all the mobs that comes out that will draw that kind of attention, in a matter of speaking of it, because wherever he goes, he is cursed, and the demons are out to wanted to kill him. So let's take a look at this, and let's begin. Now, if you are new to this channel, and if you like what you see so far, just be sure to give it a little flick to the bell. And not only that, if you do enjoy, and put a little likes, but you will receive a notification from yours truly, your friendly neighborhood reactor man, the soul of the Japanese brother man, the king of metal / J-metal reactor is what I do. It may not be as 100% perfect, but it is the best effort that I could do for every single one of you out there, because this is what I love to do. Let's begin, let's get started, but mostly, time to react. Go.
Guts, the brutal black swordsman of Berserk.
And Dimitri, the savage savior king from Fire Emblem.
Oh, so he's a
Vengeance
king.
is an ever-malicious force that can turn anyone into a broken, traumatized...
Unstoppable one-man army. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
In the realm of Midland, life really sucks all around. Demons run rampant, villages get pillages, and a helpless elf fairy has become target practice for some thugs.
I think that's from
Until walking into the torment
CG
comes
anime.
a stranger clad in black, cleaving through anyone in his way with one humongous sword.
Wiz, that weapon is too big to be called a sword, too massive and thick, more like a slab of raw iron that no normal man could wield.
Except for the man with a simple but fitting name, Guts.
But what is it that makes Guts so terrifying? Well, we're about to get into some really, really dark shit, fair warning.
Born from his mother's recently hanged corpse, Guts was taken in by a mercenary band led by Gambino.
Who definitely isn't winning Father of the Year. Gambino put Guts through the ringer, training him with swords way too big for him before putting him into live combat at only 9 years old.
Training with such large swords made Guts inhumanly strong, but he needed a different kind of strength to endure the horrendous abuse he suffered from Gambino.
So he murdered the bastard in self-defense. He
Just like
deserved it,
Griffith.
trust me. With no home or family to speak of, Guts aimlessly wandered for years as a lone mercenary.
Until he caught the eye of the ambitious Griffith. Impressed by Guts' bold battle prowess and blunt honesty, Griffith wanted him. So Guts joined his mercenary group, the Band of the Hawk.
Where Guts' gutsy fighting style made him the perfect captain. The dude was hardcore enough to fight 100 enemy soldiers on his own, and even helped end a 100-year-long war, all while earning respect and glory with Griffith and his group.
For the first time, Guts found true friends and comrades to rely on.
But when Griffith realized he couldn't keep Guts at his side, really bad things happened.
Yeah.
Upon the eclipse, Griffith summoned a bunch of demons, became a super demon himself, and sacrificed Guts' new friends to the abyss. If that wasn't bad enough, he marked Guts with a demonic brand, then raped his girlfriend Casca, forcing Guts to watch as his eye was split open and he was forced to tear off his own arm.
Yeah, really bad thing.
It was
Guts
real.
barely escaped with his life. He vowed to brutally murder Griffith.
If I remember
and
that it was the Black Knight that came that saved
Every
Guts.
big task needs even bigger weapons. Guts' bread and butter is the enormous Dragon Slayer.
He said blutter.
6.5 feet long and weighing over 300 pounds, Dragon Slayer is absurd. In Guts' hands, it can cleave through plated armor and even demons with skin of corundum, a real-life metal that is harder than steel.
Okay,
And
I
since Guts
didn't
has
know
made
about
killing
that part.
demons his favorite pastime, Dragon Slayer was exposed to so much demonic blood that it exists on the astral plane, meaning it can harm any supernatural monster. God, this thing's heavy.
Guts also carries a collection of explosives and throwing knives, but I'm partial to his mechanical arm, complete with a wondrous invention of a repeater crossbow and a secret cannon.
That's neat and all, but they aren't as awesome as Dragon Slayer here. God, how does he do this? Okay, the repeater crossbow is
That is a
It can
mystery.
fire
How could
a
be
volley
this
of 45
strong
bolts
for
per
something
second,
that weighs
making it the
300
go-to option for mowing down
pounds?
groups of bad guys. And hey, if you gotta lose your hand, replacing it with a goddamn super gun is the way to go. Even demons are afraid of this thing. See ya, Snakeface!
With his collection of weapons and indomitable will, Guts slaughtered everyone and everything in his way.
Be it an
Every
army of trolls, a
single
supersonic elf fairy, or some Bible thumper whose blows were like cannons.
But while Guts took the physical challenges in stride, his mental strife was a different story.
He had demons to deal with, literally and figuratively, always tormented by his inner beast of darkness.
Guts tried to shoulder this trauma alone, even for a time leaving behind Casca, who survived but was mentally broken. Nothing would replace the comrades Guts lost during the eclipse. However, through his resilience, he eventually saw the dangerous path he was on, and so reunited with
I need to get
Casca,
back
and
on the
eventually came to
game that I
depend on new
downloaded.
companions.
Including pretty boy Serpico. He doesn't look like much, but the guy is fast enough to dodge lightning at speeds over 100 times faster
Whoa.
than sound. And Guts has kept up with him more than once.
And thanks to the witch Flora, Guts got his deadliest and riskiest asset, the Berserker armor.
Oh boy, by shutting down all mental limitations, this armor gives Guts a huge amp in strength. Pain means nothing to him now, and it even heals injuries on the fly. Wait, did I say heal? What I meant was it pierces his torn flesh and broken bones together so he can fight until
just-
the actual last
it
drop
just
of blood is left
puts
in
it
the
back
body.
together.
Man, that's hardcore.
And extremely risky. Donning the armor has been nearly disastrous for him more than once.
Yeah, when he's in a stitched up rage, the beast of darkness is gnawing on his mind, tempting him to go berserk. Bam! Title drop.
Guts' tenacity is a sight
Dino
to
drop.
behold. He's held back a demonic dragon, withstood being impaled, and even teamed up with a fabled demon swordsman to take down an apostle that can channel lightning.
And sliced up a cloud dude in the rawest manga panel ever. Just look at it. If that's not
Holy
badass enough for you,
shit.
he once killed a giant sea god from the inside.
With its wail, this behemoth created a storm that covered an entire island. The kinetic energy of such a storm is immense. Gauging the size of the island, the energy required to induce such a storm would need to exceed 600 kilotons of TNT.
Yeah, that's right. Guts gutted a sea monster whose shout was a natural disaster.
He needed to do that and much more to reach Elfhelm, where Casca's lost sanity was finally returned. Things were looking up for the legendary Black Swordsman.
But that bastard Griffith just wouldn't leave him alone.
No matter how tragic his tale becomes, Guts will persevere for his allies, both past and present.
He has new friends, a renewed heart, a badass sword, and the last thing any man, demon, or god wants to do is mess with him. Fuck yeah!
That's right.
On the continent of Fodlan lies the holy kingdom of Fargus, a knightly nation where the youth learn to swing a sword before they can write their own name. Prince Dimitri Alexandra Blathid was no exception.
The kid was
Okay,
a
no
prodigy,
offense,
able to spar with
that's a
far more
mouthful.
experienced warriors, in part because he was a crest bearer.
Oh,
Or
so
someone
he's
gifted
okay. So
mystical
he's
power through
23.
the blood of the goddess Sothis. Those born with a crest gain anything from enhanced magic to superhuman strength.
At 9 years old, Dimitri could lift giant boulders, run across mountains for hours, and constantly broke swords by accident. Most elites who had a crest also had a massive ego, but not Dimitri.
Right, Dimitri was strong, but generally kind. Like when he gave his childhood friend Edelgard a dagger. An earnest, if odd gift.
I got shotgun shells for my first crush. But life took a turn for Dimitri when a mysterious group murdered his dad and a bunch of knights, burning them all in front of him, and leaving the poor kid with some serious survivor's guilt.
Guilt that only worsened when the country of Dusker was unjustly blamed for the tragedy. Dimitri lamented that he could not stop Fargus's corrupt nobles.
Don't worry though, when those same nobles rebelled a couple years later, he fought them like a beast, slaying them all with sadistic glee.
This
Oh,
savage
boy.
side would emerge when Dimitri was reminded of the tragedy he witnessed. Otherwise, his chivalrous charm remained forefront.
With guidance from his dead dad's buddy Rodrigue, Dimitri got into the Garrick Mock Officers Academy, where he led the Blue Lion's house and learned the mystic arts.
Well, he's not the most proficient in it, but Dimitri did learn healing and elemental magics, able to call down lightning or even channel it through his weapons.
Letting him electrocute tons of enemies at once. He learned this and more from everyone's favorite Smash Bros. Character, Professor Byleth.
Assuming you picked Dimitri's Blue Lions when you played Fire Emblem Three Houses. We're
Okay,
getting a little
yeah,
meta here, but his
granted, I
story
never
turns
played
out
that game.
very differently depending on the path chosen. Aside from the Blue Lions, there's Edelgard's Black Eagles,
And the Golden Deer, led by the crafty Claude Von Regan, aka the Best House.
that band of goofy misfits. The Black Eagles are a far
Oh,
more
God.
cohesive unit.
Nah, fear the deer, Wiz.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ashen Wolves for life, losers!
Of course Jocelyn picks the Goths.
Anyway, in Dimitri's route, he mastered all manner of weaponry. Lances, swords, axes, gauntlets, and more.
Some of these weapons use magic, some use poison, and others are used to slay giant monsters. But all of them made Dimitri an ace at warfare, especially when Byleth taught him some special skills.
The seal movement technique stops foes in their
Okay, so
tracks.
seal
Frozen
movement,
lance skewers enemies with
Swordbreaker,
ice, and
royal
Swordbreaker
movement,
boosts
counterbreak,
evasion against blade.
defiant
To top it
strength,
off, Dimitri can enter an
atrocity,
awakened state for even
frozen
more
lance.
power.
Dimitri
sweet.
led his classmates through thick and thin, but everything changed when he suspected the one behind the tragedy of Dusker was his old dagger friend, Edelgard. Dun dun dun!
Oh, damn.
To end Fodlan's oppressive crest system, Edelgard and her empire declared war on Fargus and the Church of Seros.
Dimitri could be cruel before, but after this betrayal, he snapped, vowing to kill every last one of them. For 5 years, he slaughtered the enemy, all to appease the voices that called for Edelgard's head.
He's not exaggerating. Dimitri truly believes his dead loved ones cry to him, unable to know peace until he claims vengeance.
As if Prince turned murderer hobo wasn't scary enough, he wields the ultimate lance, the hero's relic, Eredfar.
Forged from the bones of dragon-like Nabateans, Eredfar is much stronger than ordinary metal.
Eredfar,
It can pierce any armor with its signature move, Atrocity, and only crestbearers can wield it without mutating into a monstrous black beast.
With his lance, Dimitri kept killing, but no bloodshed could calm his mind. He reached peak war crimes, torturing an enemy commander in blind rage.
But when his actions led to Rodrigue making the ultimate sacrifice, Dimitri was broken, terrified of yet another voice haunting him.
Except this time, he had his professor to help him out. We really gotta pay teachers more, y'all.
Dimitri still felt hatred for Edelgard, but looked past it to the friends and kingdom he neglected and made a choice.
Instead of killing every last one of them, he would save every last one by retaking Fargus's capital.
A task this wretch turned savior king had the strength to do.
Dimitri has dodged meteors going Mach 60, decimated a squad of soldiers with one spear throw, and defeated a wizard from the magic Illuminati.
This is Talus, whose power shook a futuristic underground city.
And Dimitri just walked through his magic like it was nothing.
Dimitri
Jesus.
also more than a match for Edelgard, who, in her route, bested the Archbishop of the Church of Seros Rhea.
This is important because after dragging it up, Rhea survived 2 exploding javelins of light, aka magic nukes. Jeez, and Dimitri can fight on her level?
Indeed.
Damn.
But in the end, despite half a decade of slaughter, Dimitri was hesitant to kill Edelgard, in part from learning she wasn't responsible for the tragedy. Still, both monarchs had ideas for Fodlan that were simply incompatible.
And then Edelgard pulled a fast one with that old dagger present. Dimitri definitely felt that irony.
The war was over, and with his allies at his side, Dimitri claimed his place as a just king.
Unless, you picked a different house. His story doesn't end very happy in those.
But though the voices of the dead will haunt Dimitri until his final breath, so long as he has his friends, conviction, and compassion for the living, he will find peace.
Okay.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Let's go. Let's go. Oh, so we're going to 3D now. Okay.
What drives your slaughter? To save the high and mighty crap till you're dead.
Here we go. Okay, first of all, nice. This is a really cool song. Ooh. Oh!
How dare you!
It looked like he smacked it right to the
Tear your head
face.
from your shoulders. The dead must have their revenge.
Okay, no offense. He talks too much. I was wondering when he's gonna do that.
Bastard.
Avenge us. Voices in the head.
Promise, I'll kill them. All of them. Down to the last one.
Here we go. Here we go.
Enough of this. This is it.
Damn. It's not done yet.
Still standing?
We're in a sacrifice.
We're both shackled to the dead. You foul beasts will not have his soul!
Really?
KO! I don't know what's scarier, Dimitri the demon or Guts still standing there. He was a badass till the end.
Being fast enough to dodge lightning, Guts actually had a slight speed advantage over Dimitri, though skills like seal movement and sword
Oh
breaker
yeah,
helped
the
Dimitri
seal
close the
movement.
gap.
And while Dimitri had some minor healing magic to fall back on, it wasn't gonna compete with the raw endurance from the Berserker armor.
Still, Dimitri's absurd strength and wider pool of weapons and abilities gave him plenty of ways to wear Guts down. Against Dimitri's electricity magic, Guts' sword and armor were vulnerable conductors, making every clash an opportunity to electrocute him.
Sure, Guts has defeated lightning callers before, but he needed help. Not to mention, moves like Atrocity can pierce through armored foes. bypassing half the point of wearing the Berserker armor.
Guts could power through some of Erdfar's damage, but he wasn't invincible and could not heal from fatal wounds.
Then there's both fighters' raw power. Slaying demons is really impressive, obviously, but not always on par with magic nukes.
Remember, in Edelgard's route, she defeated Rhea, who survived 2 Javelins of Light. In Dimitri's route, he defeated Edelgard while she was a powered-up crest monster. That happened.
So, if Rhea could take on the Javelins of Light, Dimitri should be at a similar level. So, let's find out how strong a Javelin is.
In Fodlan's lore, several Javelins decimated a forest, forming the Valley of Torment. However, the exact number of Javelins used to create the valley was never given, making the power of an individual Javelin unclear.
But we do know the Javelins in this attack were supposed to hit the Garrigmach Monastery, until the goddess Sothis noped them away and they hit the forest instead.
We also know that the Javelins of Light are not limitless, with typically no more than 6 being used at once, even against structures similar in size to Garrigmach.
So, if a similar amount were used in the attack that made the valley, each Javelin would pack a payload that's over 3 gigatons of TNT.
Whoa.
Even if we severely lowballed this and said the destruction was divided between 10, 50, or even 100 different Javelins of Light, surviving 2 Javelins would still be greater than the best of Guts'
scientifically
even scaled to the
stronger.
Sea God. Guts' persistence meant he wouldn't go down easy, but against Dimitri's inhuman strength, devastating abilities, and fervent willpower, it was just a matter of time before the vengeful king wore through him.
Saying it makes me berserk, but Guts could only go so fargus.
The winner is Dimitri Alexandra Blathid.
Wow. Oh! Okay, this is what's up. Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer. Once again, it's DC versus Marvel. That won't be until I think that's a couple of days away, and which I believe that's going to be the end of the month. Now, I gotta say that both Guts and Dimitri do have a similar and the different paths of vengeance, but Dimitri, however, is a very deep in such dramatization and voices in his head that drove him to the edge, and being that broken, and I can understand that, and perhaps maybe I should go a little deeper of the lore of all that is a Fire Emblem, but then again, Guts still has that the inner demon, and that's because of that cursed armor that he's wearing, and that they both unleash it, and just hearing them talking to themselves, it's just the magnitude of all that is pure insanity that set both of them off, and they both do have the similar and have that such a raw power, but Dimitri's has his own, which is that the seal movement, atrocity, and the javelin of justice, that which brings so much feat than what Guts can deliver, and with tricks, bombs, and a special cannon. That's the only few things that he can only deliver, and especially the arrows to his mechanical arm. And let's not forget that his durability is just absurd, and he just keeps coming back for more. And what's surprising, right into the end, and I thought he was going to come back and to attack him from behind, but he wore out. I mean, I did not see that coming, and he just stood there. And while it's granted, I mean, as I said about his durability, that he keeps on coming and coming, but he just stops. And for him, it takes about like several days for all the wounds to be healed up, and yet he still has the brand of sacrifice that's on the back of his neck, and no matter what he does, that the demons will follow. And I get it that Dimitri can be cruel, but there's still a nobility as a king that he's willing to fight for those who can't defend themselves, or to the loved ones, and that I can respect that. So not a bad fight, and brutal, and just display of all of their abilities and their feats. And granted, it was a very close one, but it's the king that merged in victory. So if you guys have a different opinion how the outcome should have been, just share your thoughts. And also, if you guys did enjoy the video and the episode, hit the like button, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. So take care, guys, and peace.